We just saw some fantastic Disney Lorcana cards. Hey everyone, I'm Rebekah Quest, and myself, along with James, also known as the danregal from the Overexerted podcast, just got to join some members of the creative team at Disney Lorcana for a main stage chat looking at some cards from Fabled. We saw some cards that had already been revealed and also got to see some brand new cards, and I won't spoil anything, but I recorded the entire chat so you can watch it if you weren't able to join live. It's a great conversation. We get to dive into chat about the art and also things like the borders and framing of the cards, the foiling treatment, the gloss, the things that really make cards like the legendaries, epics, enchanteds, and iconics so special. So I hope you enjoy the chat. And as always, happy questing.
We haven't started yet. It'll be just a few more minutes. That said, if people want to turn on their cameras and mics before we get started.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, chat.
One of my favorite things every time we start these is watching the number like rocket up.
We just ignore the fact that people are watching.
Can Gen Con have 2 weekends? I think you'd have to take that up with Gen Con.
Oh, man. One weekend is enough. It's exhausting. This was my
It is
first
a
time.
lot.
It was my first time going to Gen Con, so, but it was, yeah, super fun.
But you had a really good time, right?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, it was fantastic. Lots of Lorcana friends, and not enough sleep.
Gen Con is exhausting.
Yeah. The new collection quest was super fun. You might know what we're going to talk about.
Matt is always there. That wasn't put up just for Aubrey.
Oh.
Hey, look at that.
That's awesome.
I just noticed that. That's awesome.
I have the mat. I've said this before. I have the mat literally right next to me on my desk. Like it's
Nice.
the always there mat.
I have giant tank. That's the one I have on my desk.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. We're gonna start getting started. But yeah, welcome to the creative main stage for Fabled.
Yay.
I am Richelle Brady at Ravensburger, Global Community Engagement Manager. For anyone that hasn't heard me say this before, what that means is doing stuff for all of you, like this. So ways that we can connect the team with you all out there, and then vice versa, making sure that you guys are heard, basically. And so with us today is Aubrey Archer at Ravensburger, VizDev artist and art director, and Shane Smith at Ravensburger, art director for card design.
That's the picture. That's the picture you picked for me.
Oh, one sec.
There we go.
Does that work better? And then for the content creator side of things, this time we have Rebekah Quest, and James the danregal.
Hello. Super excited for today.
First one.
So, oh yeah, it is your first one. It's great to have you. I've been listening to you on podcasts for the past 2 years, so it doesn't feel like it's the first one, but here we are. So, there are going to be card reveals during this. You know what? Let's just give you one right now, real quick.
Yes. Oh, Little John.
Since that's your first one, James, do you want to do the honors of reading it?
Sure. So this is a steel 2-cost uninkable with 2 strength and 2 willpower and 1 lore. It's a storyborn ally. It's Little John Sir Reginald with the ability What a Beautiful Brawl. When you play this character, choose one. Chosen hero character gains resist +2 this turn, or deal 2 damage to chosen villain character. And it is an uncommon. With art by Christian Romero.
Fun.
This is nice. I like having choices.
I like the
Yeah.
hero and villain like synergy that's on this card too.
Yeah, help a hero or hurt a villain.
I love how there's Robin Hood's like normal clothes that Robin Hood wears in the back that he's obviously taken off to put on his disguise. And I can't tell, is
Mhm.
that the back of Robin Hood in his stork disguise on the left-hand side?
It looks like it, yeah.
His hat.
Yeah, with the hat. That's super fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
This is a cool card. I have a deck that I play in. I guess it's going to be Infinity at some point, but it's like a bodyguard fantasy deck, and there's a lot of Robin Hoods and stuff, and Little Johns in there. And there's a really cool Floodborn Little John
Yes.
that this I think is for me for my deck. This will be nice for that. That's cool.
And you also have that Phil card that's in steel, I believe, that has some hero synergy. So buffing
Yep,
up
yep.
the hero deck. Yeah, he's real cool.
And he's an ally, so there's all those ally matters cards that this works with.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Sapphire Steel ally deck.
I also can hear like Little John's voice saying like, "Oh, what a beautiful brawl." I can't do that Little John voice, but like I can hear the voice in my mind of him saying that.
So we're gonna move away from card reveals for a majority of this, but we'll get back to stuff at the end. So make sure that you stick around. But for now, wanted to talk with Aubrey about you have some artwork that's in Fabled, and the first one is a returning card.
Yeah.
You're kind of known as like the Rapunzel person on the team, so
I love her, so yeah, I'm not mad about that. I'm very excited to see her come back. Have a deck with her, so.
Here, a question for
do you have?
you is,
Oh.
was Rapunzel like a character when you first came into Lorcana that you're like, I hope I get to do Rapunzel?
Yeah, absolutely. She's one of my favorite princesses. I just love that movie so much. So yeah, absolutely. I was really, really excited when they gave me Rapunzel.
I really love how the oh sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really love how like she's kind of mid power with this one.
Mhm.
A lot of times we see her like just normal like before, but I love the ones where there's kind of the hair going everywhere.
Magic
Yeah,
hair.
this is one of the first times we really got to play with what you can do that's not directly from the movie, right? So it was really fun to explore that.
Does the hair present challenges or allow for more creative freedom?
I think both. I mean, I think it's a really fun, creative, like it's almost like a prop, like for posing, right? It's so significant. You can't just ignore it. You have to use it. It's I think it's something that balanced really, really well in the movie too, because her hair can be so, like, if you really think about it for more than 2 seconds, it's so impractical. Like, it's so absurdly impractical to have that much hair.
Hair is
But
its own
it
character.
feels, yeah, exactly. Like but that's how they use it. They use it like her its own character, and it's super fun, and it's like this really fun extra like, yeah, story element to play with, I guess. Yeah.
And it's fun to foil.
Oh yeah, this one in foil is really fun to look at. It's so shiny.
All the
I'm
shiny
trying
hair.
to think what the foil version looks like. Is her hair all shiny on the foil
It's
version?
a promo card from was it Rise of the Floodborn?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a promo one of it. I think her hair is all shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember it being. Like,
Yeah.
she's a little less shiny, but everything else is quite super shiny.
Yeah.
And then the other one that was one of the first cards revealed for the set, Mulan Considerate Diplomat Enchanted.
Yeah, I'm
Gorgeous.
excited about this one. This is the other favorite princess of mine, so this is great.
I love
like-
the color palette on this one. I mean, all of the Enchanteds that we've seen so far are beautiful, but I don't know. So there's something about this Mulan card with the color palette that's so, I don't know, soft and inviting in. I don't know. I just love it so much.
Oh, thank you. This feels like one that Shane should talk about too, because I feel like the foiling on it is what's really gonna make this one exciting to hold.
Yeah, when you see this one in person, they're crazy. And I see a question from Jacoby in the chat. We'll talk about those gold parts, but they're exciting. They're really cool.
Is it new
That kind
foiling?
of. Oh, sorry.
Is it a different foiling than we've seen on Enchanteds in the past?
Yes, yeah, the actual like rainbow gold part underneath is updated for Fabled. So we kind of have been doing like the first 4 sets, that first kind of Ursula arc was like the lava kind of pattern, and then the Jafar arc was the kind of S wave, and now for this one it's this like kind of cloud texture, which is really cool.
How is the Aubrey working on the Enchanted? Because I know each set kind of has its own like look and feel to it, and you've done a couple other Enchanteds. I'm trying to remember which ones you've done. But doing
Yeah,
the Mulan in the new style for this upcoming Fabled set, how was that?
Yeah, Fabled was fun because it's very nostalgic. For the art style, it's very like classic Lorcana. It's not quite a lot of the other Enchanted I did were more different. Like I did some work for Azurite Sea, and that was like that was really fun, but like it looks completely different than any other illustration style in the game. So this one was really fun because it was just like trying to figure out how you take that original art and sort of like move the story forward a little bit, because that's what you're working with more than like a dramatic art style to differentiate it. You're working more with like you have the full frame and you can change kind of the pose, but it's not like a dramatically different rendering style. So that was kind of a fun, exciting challenge.
Yeah.
One of the things about Lorcana is the ink colors always has a representation in the art.
Mm-hmm.
For Enchanteds, does sometimes the style of the Enchanted supersede the ink color representation, or do you try and work that in as much as you can as well?
I think it's a little like the yes and with improv. So when you have an Enchanted style, you like figure out a way to do that and the ink style. So, and then because of that, you can come up with stuff that you might not normally come up with. So yeah, there's still like this one Sapphire, so I still tried to add like some of the magic has the little like circles and things that look very Sapphire. But yeah, I would say no matter what the Enchanted style is, the goal would still be to find a way to add that in. But because the style is different, you might add it in a different way. Like with Azurite Sea, a lot of it was like the sketchiness and the like magical individual effects. So it kind of is a chance to try in a different way, but it would never like completely override, like you'd still want to try to show the inks. And if anything, it can be kind of extra important with Enchanteds because the art is so much more of the card. You want to be able to look at it and still see what card type you're looking at. So that's something that we definitely want to keep in mind too when we're trying to figure it out.
Someone in the chat was asking about does Disney review all the artwork? Do you have to do a lot of back and forth, Aubrey, with like different iterations of the same artwork with Disney?
I'd say it totally depends on the card, but like, yeah, we work with Disney along the whole process, so they'll see it multiple times. And yeah, I'm trying to remember on this one exactly how much. I don't think But yeah, it's definitely like a collaborative process with Disney, I would say. Figuring out what works for, like, they know the Disney characters the best, and then we know what the mechanics are, and it's always, and what the story is within Lorcana, and so it's always like collaborating to try to make that work for all the needs that it has.
So, speaking of collaborating with Disney, a lot of you had seen, if you watched the panel or were there at the panel, that we have these magical places promos with the California Adventure, Disney California Adventure having this Belle Accomplished Mystic promo. And Shane, you made like a different
Foiling.
frame and foiling for it, so could you talk about that a little?
This card is one of my favorites that we've done so far. So for you guys that don't know me, one of my jobs is to just make the cards. I take all the rules, text, and illustrations, I put them together, and I make a card. But another part of my job is to design new card frames like this one, or like the epic cards or the iconic cards. I make, all the borders and set everything up like that. And so this one was a special one that I got to do for this activation. And we really wanted it to look magical. And I also really wanted it to feel like Disney. So I took a little bit of like the Disney blue from their kind of brand and some of their gold, and I was like, that's going to be the colors. It's going to be blue and gold, so that it's very Disney. And then there's another kind of detail on this that is a little subtle. It's the foil paper that it's on. So that foil paper is the same foil that we used for the D23 cards last convention, and that Sorcerer Mickey card. So that's something where, we say this foil paper is going to be like the Disney foil. Like if it's going to be at a Disney event or their location, we'll use this, and that'll be kind of a tie together. And so that foil with this new border, to me, this was so much fun, and I'm really happy with how they came out. They look amazing in person. They look so good. And I'm excited for people to get this.
People in
Yeah,
the
I
chat
think
were
you knocked
asking.
this.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. Real quick, I just wanted to say people are asking how to get this. There is an article on the website, DisneyLorcana.com, that talks about the collection quest that's happening at Disney California Adventure. And so you can get this by participating in that. Anyway, James, continue.
So I think you knocked it out of the park with this one.
Thank you.
As soon as we saw this, we're like, okay, this is a must-have card. It looks amazing just on the screen. So I can't
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah,
how it looks in
spectacular.
person.
Thank you.
There's something too with like the border and like there's some shading to it, and it's like the artwork just like pops off the card to me, like Belle. And I just love, and
Looks
I
like 3D.
it does. It gives almost like a three-dimensional feeling to it. I can't wait to see, especially like with the foiling. Is the foiling that it has on itself different too, or is it similar to some other foiling that we've seen?
It's similar to the foiling that you've seen before. So if you have one of those D23 cards
It's
from last
okay.
year,
It's
it's
that
going to
one. Oh, that's
feel
right.
similar to that. Yeah.
I also love how you can spy some little lore pips on the frame too. It looks like
A
maybe
little bit, little
I love
sparkle in there,
that.
little lore
There's
sparkle.
some
Yeah.
sparkle, some lore sparkling. I can see it. So it's like those tiny details are what helps give it that like magical touch. I love it.
Yeah. And that new rarity icon that's there, you've seen this one, and you've also seen on the cruise cards that people have been shown around,
Hmm.
we have new rarity icons. Those were done by a guy on our team named John Casebeer. And those were interesting to do because we wanted them to feel like they go in a set, right? Like all the promo icons have to feel related. And so they all are the same gold color. They all have the same line width. But on these new ones that you see, like the castle here or the cruise one, there's a lore star in the shape. So here on the castle, it's the top of the turret is a lore
Yeah,
star.
I
And if you
see.
look at the cruise one, all the waves are lore stars. So we have all these little
Oh,
like little details in there that came out so nice.
I love it. And I love that it's called a Magical Places promo too.
Yeah,
Just the name
yeah,
of it, makes it sound magical.
that's what they are.
I can't wait
They're
for
magical
more.
places.
And then there's another frame type that's been a little more recent.
Oh yeah, the glimmer. Is that what
These
you're calling
the
it? The
glimmer
glimmer?
foils.
I
Yeah,
Yep,
glimmer foil.
love
the glimmer
these.
foil. Yeah,
The
yeah,
Mickey, I
those ones were
think, was
fun
the
too.
first one that we saw, right? So we had the Ruby Mickey that was pirate captain that was in a set, and we had the
Yep.
Lilo. Um, I'm so happy that we're getting more of these because I think this frame is so fun. I don't know, that's what it like. The other one was like very magical and whatever. This one is just like fun to me, the glimmer and all the lore pips around.
Yeah, this one's fun too. It was a thing where we were like, well, if we're gonna have these cool gift sets and things that we want to attract people that maybe haven't had a Lorcana card before, and they see this thing, and what can we do to get people interested and go, oh wow, what is that? What is that? And the creative director Shane said that he wanted these to feel um, like they were coming off the page, or like the ink magic was like filling the card, right? So we were like, well, we'll just take the ink pattern of whatever ink it is and just flood the whole border with it and make it, so bright. And when you see these together, I think they're such a fun little set. They're fun is a good word. They're not, heavy or dramatic, but they're just fun. Yeah, like that little Mickey over there. Yeah,
Yeah, there it
I think they're fun.
is. Hey, and now so we have the Ruby Mickey, we had the Amber Lilo, and now these two. So hey, we need a Emerald and Sapphire Glimmer foil cards.
I think we're good. I think we'll just stop after these and then
No.
probably.
I do love though that they're the ones that you like find in the gift sets. Makes it
Yeah,
it's special.
yeah, they're fun.
So kind of moving back towards Fabled, um, there's a lot of changes with the production of the cards, the foiling, stamping, stuff like that. So uh, here on is going to be very Shane forward.
Oh boy.
But um, first, if you want to talk about this.
Yeah, so some people, I've seen a lot of comments of people saying,
Oh.
why does the legendary icon look different? Is that just to mark, which legendaries are reprints? Is that a new thing? Well, no, we're doing a security foil. So this little stamp is going to be on any card that's legendary or higher. And these things look so cool in person. There's all kinds of little tricks and details and stuff in there that are they're like mind-boggling to see them. So these things are pretty cool, and so you'll see those on new cards that come out.
What's the difference between these two pictures? The top
The
of
angle
is
you're
that just the
looking at the
angle?
card,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So when you're
and it
like
even does
in the
stuff like
light.
if you turn the card that way,
Oh,
it will change a different way. If you do it like that, it'll change. That's like they're so
wow.
complex. I don't even yeah. I had to make a document explaining all the features, and I was like, whoa. Even I would take a card and I would go, is that true? Oh man, that's crazy. Is that true? Oh, it's crazy. So those things are pretty cool.
I think, like you said, it's like there's a security reason for it, and like I
Yep.
feel like you could go about something like that in a very dry kind of way, probably. But like I love how you've chosen to like incorporate the symbols of all the ink color and like make it
Yeah.
this security stamp in itself an art piece, that's part of the
Mm.
card. Like that's like what was the thought process in like kind of going that direction?
Yeah. Well, the overall thought was we wanted to show fans that we're making an effort to help prevent counterfeiting,
Mm.
and so people can be confident when they get a card that it's real. But the thought behind making it ours was, I think, just the same kind of thought that we have over everything. Is we like to put thought into stuff, and how can we make things feel like they're integrated into the brand, and not be kind of meta or like fourth wall breaking.
Mm.
It would be really immersion breaking if it was just like an emoji of a guy going like that or something, like what, that would be silly. So
Maybe.
this was like, maybe it'd be cool to keep with mouse ears on his head.
Right.
So we were like, we thought we'll make a really cool pattern with all the ink icons, and that way when you see every card will have a slightly different security stamp, right? Because it's going to be a different part of the material of the pattern. And this was actually, we hired a person onto my team, and this was one of the first things that I assigned him. I was like, I need you to make a security foil. No small task for him, but he's a pro, and this took a little while for us to do, and a lot of testing. But I think, it now not only is it secure, but it's kind of fun to look at too. And I think you're going to be distracted by it when you get it. You're going to go, whoa, Yeah, it's pretty.
One more thing to look at on the pretty cards.
Exactly. And this will be on foil and non-foil, so anything that's a legendary or higher.
Yep,
And that's also why
legendary,
you see.
epic, enchanted,
Michelle.
and iconic will all
Yep.
have it.
Yep. Yeah. And so that's also why the Enchanted icon is different too. The reason that this is a solid pentagon instead of the way that it was before as a legendary is because of the way that this is applied to the card. If the little pieces are too small, they'll come off. And so you want like a really secure, bond onto the card. And we talked about, printing black on top of it so that it still has the shape, but then that's like an extra layer of printing and it's not going to look as good. And so we kind of had to, say, well, we're just going to do a big old legendary security stamp.
So epics also, we've kind of only shown them digitally so far, but there's more to them than I think what appears. And so Shane took some close-up photos to show what's kind of special about them.
So these are some photos that I took in the office. So the lighting's kind of funky, and they don't have the security stamp on there. But this is what an epic card will look like when you see it. So it does have what some people call embossed. It's actually a gloss treatment that goes over the top of the card. And yes, legendary cards are going to keep that as well. And reprinted legendary cards also are going to have that gloss added to them, which is cool. And that was a challenge. But these epic cards, what we try to do when we design a card is make a progression so that each card, as it becomes more rare, feels like it fits in that slot that it's in. And so on these, the gloss treatment that we did, we're trying to bring them out of just being on the character and try to emphasize some of the environment if we can, or some of the effects. Because I had seen some feedback from people about the legendary cards. They said it can feel like a sticker sometimes if it's just a big character. And so I thought, okay, well that's fine. We can keep the legendary cards in general, they work, but how can we make that cooler? And so on these epics, we pulled more gloss out where we could. It can be tricky depending on the art, but especially over the foil, when that gloss is on top of foil, whoa, it makes the foil so poppy. It's crazy.
How do you get
Lots of
that
gloss on the
rainbow
bug.
effect? How do you even get that? Magic.
Yeah.
Disney, that's Disney magic happening.
Just pure
That's the
magic.
Yeah. And I did see some people asking about the design of the epic cards. So maybe we could talk about that just briefly. But these kind of the challenge for me on these to design them was, no, the symbol does not rub off. It sticks. It's like a stamp. It's like a hot stamp. But the design on these was tricky for me because we're bringing back some of those classic pieces from like the first chapter and bringing them back. And so like on this Elsa, it would be really cool to blow it up and show art in the bottom half, but there is no art down there because when it was made originally, it was just intended to be an uncommon or whatever it was. And so we could blow it up too. We could just expand the art, but then you start to lose resolution maybe. It's going to be cropped some way that the artist didn't intend it to be. And so it was tricky to show, as much of the art as I can and still keep the art, the integrity of the art as the artist intended it to be. And this kind of goes into that progression I mentioned before, which, going from a legendary card where the art is starting to come out around the borders, and then an enchanted card where you have no borders, and it sits between that, where as much of the art has no border as it can, but there's still, stuff along the bottom. So this was kind of, it fits right in the middle between those two.
That's cool. I hadn't really thought about that. Just like stylistically with the framing and everything, how it is, it
Mhm.
literally is just kind of that step in between this framing of how the Enchanteds are and the legendaries. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and there's more to that than, I mean, every piece of it is we try to make a progression. Like I have a binder full of cards from other TCGs and just trading cards, and we'll look and say, what did this game do that we like? What did this one do that we don't like? What can we take and make our own? And some of them I saw were, there was a game I got a bunch of cards from, and every rarity looked the same, even if it was a secret rare. It was on the same foil as a common, and so something that I try to do in these is each time a rarity goes up, you can feel that it's growing into something, like a legendary card will be on just a silver foil. And then when you get to epic, it turns into a rainbow foil. And then when an epic goes to an enchanted, it becomes a patterned rainbow foil. And when enchanted goes to iconic, it becomes our custom lore star pattern foil. Right. And there's other treatments too that, we're going to do gloss, and then that might change into something, and that might change into something too. So all these things are trying to fit into a slot and kind of make sense.
Hmm. Oh,
So here you
cool.
can see stand out and some of those gloss treatments that are on there. That picture on the left, that's not really how you'll see the card, but that's a really extreme angle so you can see where the gloss is. But really when you're looking at it, you're going to see that foil come through the light rays that's coming off the lights there, and it really sparkles when you're looking at it. It looks really cool.
Is that getting that thin line? Is that difficult?
It is, yes. That thin line of like the light rays, when we work with the factory, there are specific tolerances of how thin we can make those lines. And so even if you look at I think there's a legendary Mufasa, and his little whiskers, the gloss on his whiskers is much thicker than the actual whiskers are. And I would have loved to do just a little, I'm going to say a hairline, but a hairline of his hair. But it's just too thin to make the gloss, and so we have to do, there's a minimum of, I don't know what it is, like a quarter millimeter or half a millimeter or something thick, that that's as small as we can go. So it's tricky, and there's all kinds of things like that you don't think about, but once you start making cards and the factory comes back and says, hey, this is really hard.
Somebody in the chat said that this gloss and the rainbow foil really makes this card stand out.
Oh
And
geez.
I'd have to agree.
Oh gosh.
So let's move on to Enchanteds. They've gotten some changes, starting with Fabled.
So
Yes, and this guy,
fun. Okay,
such a cool card.
the gold on the name. That was one of the first things that I wanted to ask about.
So it is a foil stamp. So that is actually metallic gold foil stamping that's going to go on the card. Um, Gorgeous, so gorgeous. It's just like if you have the Sorcerer Mickey from D23, he's got the little sparkles and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So this is very similar to that, and it looks amazing in person. This was something that we wanted to add to make the enchanted cards even cooler. When we went from set 4 to 5, we redesigned the card frame, and now here we are in Fabled, and we're kind of reintroducing the game to a new audience and bringing people in. And we were like, how can we make these enchanted cards like, even a little cooler? And also a new frame, a little bit of, we shrunk it down a little bit because there's no rules text on him since he's vanilla. How small can we make that frame? And since there's no text in there, we can take off the frosted glass and just make it, transparent and just put a little amethyst, coloring in there. So really trying to show even more art if we can.
With
Did I interrupt you, Aubrey? Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say that the gold foiling looks incredible with the honey because it's already that nice golden color, and then a really satisfying foil shine on it. Just looks really good.
Is that something that like I'm looking at that gold foiling in the honey and on the other enchanted cards too, like with the design of the enchanted cards, is the foiling something that like you work with the artists even like from the beginning of like the concept of the design, or does that come in towards the end of the process?
It comes in towards the end. There are some cards where we will ask the artist at the beginning, if they have ideas of things that they would want to see foiled. But a lot of times it comes to us at the end as a finished piece, and then it's my job, and if I have someone else helping me with it, to find these things on the card that we can emphasize in the foil and not overpower the card. We still want, Carlos Ruiz drew this thing, and we don't want to say now it's going to be the Shane show, right? Not that it would, but we don't want to add so much foil to this thing that it's going to be, that's going to try to take center stage. And I did see, so a couple of people are asking about Pringling, and I will mention that cards Pringle because of the way that the paper is made. So these rainbow foil papers it's a plain piece of tree on the back, the card back, and that gets glued to the foil paper on the front, and that's the stuff we print on. And that foil paper is sealed in plastic, right? It's got a film on it to make it holographic. And that part of the paper can't breathe. So if there's humidity difference between where you live and where the card was made, the card's going to adapt, right? It's going to dry out on one side or it's going to expand on one side. And so you really can't prevent pringling on a rainbow foiled card. You could do it on if it was a cold foil, but the cold foils are darker. You can't get the cool patterns in them. Most of the time they're just going to be silver. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So yes, they will pringle if you don't put them in a case or something, but it's very difficult to prevent that. That's kind of that's a downside of making a pretty card.
Someone said, just live at the factory. Then you
live at the factory. I would live at the factory. It's really cool.
Then you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So yes, all TCGs have pringling if they're on a rainbow foil paper like this. If something's, like I said, if it's a cold foil, it's much less likely to pringle because cold foiling is actually a printing technique. It's just plain paper, and they print down like a layer of glue, and then they print down a layer of silver, and it sticks to just that part. So you'll have, just a piece of white paper with a silver box or whatever, wherever the foil is. And that makes it so the paper can still breathe, so it'll adjust to the humidity. But these rainbow foils, they're so pretty, but you have that, they have that seal on them, so they're gonna a little bit.
And then new, starting in Fabled, is the iconic cards.
So good. I loved how in the video, real quick before you jump into all the details, the video that they did at the Gen Con panel, I loved how they kind of did that 3D effect and went to show like the layers of this. And I know you're going to talk about each of those layers, but it was really fantastic having that visualization of these cards, and having your picture that you took showing some of this foiling looks so cool.
Yeah. I remember when we first saw these in the office, everybody was like, whoa, right? We got these things in, everyone wanted to see them, and they came out so good. And yeah, there's like all these layers on there, right? So there's the custom foil, which you can kind of see on that left picture, like near where her hand is. There's like some lore stars in the foil, and those are printed onto the foil paper, right? That was a lot of fun to do too, because we got to make our own foil from scratch, which was a super cool process. And then there's the art that gets printed on, and then we have this gold foiling, or for Mickey, it's going to be like a ruby red, and that's actually a raised foil, so you can feel it if you rub your finger across the card. It's a little bit raised, and the lines are, like some people said, they're so crisp and they're so small, like teeny tiny. Even the little classification, right, where it says princess, like that's a raised foil, and it's so fine and crisp. Uh, these things came out, yeah, like love these things. And so this is that progression I was talking about. Like, you have a legendary that's got a gloss, you have an epic that says more gloss, then you go to Enchanted, you say, okay, instead of gloss, we're going to do a gold stamp foil. Then you say, now we're going to go to Enchanted. It's going to be, instead of a stamp foil, it's going to be a raised, we call it a 3D hot stamp. So it's a different foil than the Enchanted cards. It's actually gives us a lot more detail. We can put more of it on a card. Like I said, you can feel it. It's raised. It's super chromy, shiny, like really shiny. Enchanted card foil, like any normal hot stamp foil, is a little like semi chromy, right? It's like a brushed metal, but these are blinging. They're pretty.
Very blingy.
Yeah, yeah,
I love too how she breaks the border, like the
yeah.
where it has the Dreamborn Hero Princess, that you have some of the art that breaks over that border. That's super fun.
With her little foot there, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask about. How challenging was it trying to minimize that much text and all of the the assets that need to go on the card
Yeah.
while still preserving as much art as possible?
It was tricky, and this was something where we collected cards from other TCGs to say, how did other people do this where there's no frame, there's no text box, and how do they make the text readable? Because you're just going to have words on top of art, and that's bad. You don't want words on top of art, because then you can't read the words. And so this was a thing where we were like, okay, I'm going to take the whole text box off. What can we do around the words? And we were like, we'll just do the smallest white that we can, so that it's really, it goes nice with the art, because the art's already kind of white and gold. And then just stamp on top of that, and say, okay, we're not going to touch it anymore. Just let the art be there and do its thing. So it was tricky, and there was a lot of testing and drafts where we were like, let's try this, let's try that. And it's kind of hard to tell in here, but around the strength and willpower and the lore, there's actually like some sparkles in there printed in. So those icons should be kind of like glowing a little bit. But it was tricky. It was tricky. And yes, it's the same printing style as the gold Mickey. So that gold Mickey has the same kind of foiling as this Minnie Mouse here. So it's the same like raised 3D foil. The difference with the gold Mickey is that was designed to look like a slab of gold, right? We wanted it to feel like a treasure. And so there's also texture printed and stuff on the borders, and to fill out the art, that the whole thing is this kind of foil. But this is a little bit pulled back from that. Gold Mickey is still the top. Yeah, he's in a league of his own.
How does that testing process work for like these kind of cards? Like, is that a lot of back and forth with the production to like try things out, see how it looks, give them feedback? Like, what is that process
Yeah,
like?
There's one thing that I'll do is, when I'm trying to test something new, I'll make a whole bunch of different versions of it, and I will just send, like, here's 10 different Minnie Mouses, Minnie's mouse. Like, here's 10 different versions of them. You guys print them out and send them to us. And so, like, there's a version that I have of this card that's on a big sheet, and all those different whites behind all the text and stuff are our different levels of opacity. We're like, how much can we show through that, right? And we'll try maybe the legal line might be a foil stamp. It was that way on Gold Mickey, and that's really small because the Disney Lorcana Copyright Disney, that's like 4-point font. It's so small. So that was something we said, maybe we won't challenge the factory like that this time. They're stressing about it. So we'll get these prints and we'll also get feedback from them. They'll say, hey, this needs to be this far from the edge, or this can go all the way off the edge, or we recommend, this thickness of line. So there's a little bit of us seeing a thing and deciding what we like, and there's a little bit of the factory giving us recommendations. And sometimes we disobey the factory, like on Gold Mickey. They wanted us to add some white underprinting so that some of the card wasn't shiny, and we were like, I think we're gonna just make it all shiny. We're gonna go shiny, shiny, shiny. And we were happy with how that one came out. But there's definitely some, discussion as we do them internally and externally-ish, with the teams.
Yeah. So pretty.
So one of the other things with Fabled that we've talked a bunch about so far is just all the new Enchanteds, but um, there's new ones, but there's also some like chances to go back and look at some cards that like we wanted to have Enchanteds for, but didn't before. And so these are cards that have been revealed, but I just kind of wanted to go through some of them because we've been sharing Enchanteds earlier now. This Ariel Adventurous Collector.
I hope I get this
I
one.
think this one is. I think this one's misnamed. Isn't this the Enchanted Flounder card?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of an Enchanted Flounder featuring Ariel. Like
That's too funny. It's
And it says
so
Citizens of Lorcana foil.
right. I love this one. This one is so good. When I first saw it, I was like, it's so vibrant and just like it's so aerial, right? Like
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
for anyone who's like
Yeah, the
a
art is
Little
stunning.
Mermaid fan, like this is like quintessential Ariel and but
Mhm.
still Lorcana, right? Still very Disney Lorcana. So yeah.
I saw someone in the comments say that they like that we took the reminder text off of evasive. That's something that we can do on more rare cards. The higher rarity a card goes, it's kind of assumed to be more of a difficult card or more advanced for players. So if a card is super rare or legendary, we might pull that reminder text off because we want to show more art, or because there's so much rules text that we need to, or so that's one of the tools in our toolbox that we can use to make a card either fit or to look cooler.
I also really like that this is kind of like the moment before her previous artwork, because like you see
Oh
kind of like the sharks
yeah.
like lurking in the background.
Yeah.
So there's times where like those Enchanteds or any other alt art gets to be like a moment before or after. And I thought it was cool that this is like kind of rewound a bit.
Go.
Yes.
Do the dance, everybody.
So beautiful.
I thought it was fun that this art was out long before we knew it was an Enchanted, but I think a lot of us were like, this has to be Enchanted art, right?
Oh yeah, this was
Beautiful.
like the like Greg and I do a lot of the like reviewing the sets for like what we'll show and when. And so seeing this artwork was like, oh, this is the first thing we're showing for Fables. Like this is definitely the big reveal. And the fact that it was like sitting behind us for so long, we kept seeing comments of everyone being like, that's gotta be the Enchanted, like you were saying. But it was fun to just have it there and sort of like tease it out until the card got fully revealed.
I know it's an Enchanted, but
it's
it
amazing
feels
these
so
far.
epic, right?
Foil stamping.
Yeah.
It's gonna look cool. As you can see all those little stars and stuff in there, and they're burst around power line. All that stuff is super shiny gold foil stamping.
Tomato would approve.
Yes.
Aww. The gold feather.
I love this one. It's so precious. His face.
Oh my gosh. This is like one that I'm like, every mother out there is gonna want to like print this art to put like in a baby room, you know? That's what it feels like. It's so pretty and oh yeah.
Right next to Aubrey's Bambi.
Yes,
Oh man.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
precious babies.
man.
Yeah.
Precious babies. It twinkles. Lilo. And look at Stitch in the back. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Evil.
Lies.
Very Stitch. So threatening.
That's so good.
In the regular art of this, Lilo also has her tongue sticking out a little bit, and Stitch is also in the background. But I like how this one just accentuates more that she's just like out there having fun, tongue out, like I'm a space explorer.
Best explorer
And Stitch
ever.
looks like Batman from the animated series, like up on the ledge, like a lightning bolt's gonna go behind him, and he's just gonna be like, "Arr."
So a fun thing to note about this, um, this Lilo is a storyboard. I know a lot of people when we first showed the artwork a while ago were thinking that it was a Dreamborn. I might have even said it was a Dreamborn at the time. I don't remember. But this is a tease for Lilo and Stitch the series that we announced is going to be part of Winterspell.
That's right.
I saw someone post a screenshot from the series where they found it, so that's really cool. It's a lot to pull from the series. That means experiments.
Experiment.
You'll have to wait to find
First.
out.
We know Angel's coming.
They showed Angel.
Yeah.
All right. So card reveals.
Card reveals. Card reveals.
We're gonna do a couple of returning cards, and then a couple of alt treatments.
Ooh.
So one of the things that I had mentioned before was going back and doing new Enchanteds for old cards. But there's also the reverse, where some of the cards that were chosen to return were because they had an Enchanted. And so making sure that some of those Enchanted stayed playable.
Oh, I want Shere Khan to be good so bad. I've tried making so many decks with Shere Khan, I can't even tell you.
I have
That,
him in a deck.
yeah.
It's not a good deck, but it's a
Right,
good.
that's
It's
how it's,
he's
yeah. Yep. Super fun.
I love that
Love it.
card.
Yeah.
And it's a rule of villainy too card
Yeah.
returning. I love those. When are we getting more rules of villainy? We need more.
Ruby Steel.
Yeah, Ruby Steel
Love,
deck.
love
I
Ruby. No.
I want Ruby Steel to be bad, to be good so badly. Right now, it's just
Yeah,
it's
it's so fun
okay.
though.
It's
It's a fun
it's
deck.
okay. It is a fun deck though. This is a
You get
fun one
like
I
put
think to
some
bring back.
leaves in there. Yeah.
I know that that was sort of a flub that you said you want Ruby Steel to be bad, but like it reminded me of, like the wizard, like the power glove. It's like, Ruby Steel so bad.
Yeah.
So the next one that's returning,
Oh,
Oh,
yay!
yay!
Playmat theory.
Playmat theory. Oh, yeah. This is such a good one. I mean, I love playing madrigals, and this is a great card in the madrigal deck, and the art on it is so good. It makes me so happy. I think people know I'm an Encanto fan, so this just makes me very happy.
Yeah, this one's so beautiful and
Such a pretty
fun.
card.
It's a fun card too.
Yeah.
Something kind of fun about this card and artwork and the fact that we did a play mat of it is there were questions on the Ravensburger team of like, oh, that this is just a picture of a house. Why are all the people so tiny? Don't you want to show the characters more? And a lot of us knew how important the house was in the movie, but um, we also had folks from Disney backing us up that Casita's a main character of the movie. It's a very important character, so it's amazing how it's depicted here, and it's so beautiful.
Yep. The casita is just as much a part of the family as anybody else.
Right.
And one of the memories of this card is actually for the playmat, and the playmat was used by a lot of devs at challenges and other events to get people to sign when they did pack rushes with that. So that's one of my main memories of this card is being able to see like someone hold up one of the mats and it's like signed by like 100 or more people.
Wow.
It has anything to do with the card. The card's great too. We need draw and amber, so I like the card that is coming back. So let's keep getting some more draw and amber.
Yeah. Yes. I think also people really love the sing together mechanic, and it hasn't been used like a lot, but I'm glad to see a sing together song coming back. All the Encanto cards. Oh yeah.
So here's another epic. The card's been revealed, but this is available as an epic.
Epic. So good.
Yeah.
So this one's going to have the promo in addition to the epic.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's multiple versions for this and the other pre-release card, the
Yeah.
Alice. So they both have epics, they both have promo versions, and they both have standard versions
Ah.
and foil versions. So you can have these cards in 4 different ways.
All the
And
collectors
when you
out there
see
going, oh no.
Yeah.
I must collect them
Yes.
all.
when you see the real one in person, we added she has that magic coming off the little box there, but we added in the gloss treatment. There's other rays off to the side. I think that little dark spot there on the left you can see is maybe someone put that in when they made the little mock-up file, but we added more like smoke and magic into the card that's not there. And there's some other cards too where we added gloss to things that aren't in the card to kind of add detail or
Yeah.
emphasize things that that aren't emphasized already. I'm thinking of some that aren't revealed.
So good.
So there's one more, technically 2, that is a returning card that also has an Enchanted. And a lot of people in the chat have been guessing and hoping that that's what we're going to show right now.
Is it Hades?
Yes.
Yes. Nice.
Hades has
Look
returned.
at that enchanted version. That art
Oh, that is
is
awesome.
Filled with
that's
the blue magic.
incredible.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
I love how
So
like
cool.
we all know the standard art very well. Been around since the first chapter. And in the enchanted art, I love like the magic swirls are kind of following the same direction as the original art too. Like a little
Mm-hmm.
homage there to the original art.
So cool.
This one's got to
It's
look
amazing.
good with like the gloss treatment and everything too. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Going back to
yeah. Didn't even
the
think about
original
that.
movie.
That's cool.
Yeah. And this is also like when we redo or revisit these older legendary cards, he's not coming out of the frame and there's no art in the bottom half because that's another thing where we don't want to break the original art. I
Yeah.
don't want to start cutting out layers that aren't there to make stuff move or there's no art for the bottom half to show, but we try to honor the original, and then we add that gloss treatment on top to kind of bring it up with the others. And then there's the Enchanted version, which is chef's kiss.
So good.
So beautiful.
We're gonna want
The
that.
chat is
I was
reacting very
reacting.
much to
Yes.
this.
I think people are just a little excited. I think people definitely wanted this one back for many reasons. I think obviously he's a great card to play, especially having some form of removal in a Sapphire deck is awesome. But people love Hades, the character. People love Hades. I know that
Cool.
when we had the Hades playmat, people were so excited about that. And yeah, so Hades finally getting the enchanted treatment, I think, is making everyone quite happy.
I think I like every Hades card. Like they're all cool. They all do something cool.
I know this is not a narrative main stage, but I have a theory that I know Hades is up to something.
He
Hades
has
is
to be.
up to something.
I mean, to be fair, all the villains are up to something always.
Always,
He's
that's
always
true. They wouldn't be villains if they weren't, but there's something coming there. There's something happening.
I did. You mentioned Shane. You mentioned adding the gloss to the new cards, the new legendaries. That's actually something that I was interested in. Was for the foiling, with the new foiling, going back to all those old cards and having to do them in a new foil. Like, was that really challenging, or just because I know that the foiling for the cold foil had to be like placed, right? So you had
right.
to like redo the entire card for the new foil.
Yeah, we did. We had to redo all the foiling for the new cards because the process was
Mm.
totally different. And also the new foil is so much shinier that when we saw some of these older cards on the new foil, you could see details or things that weren't in the original. Like, now this little spot that maybe we missed or didn't know it was going to be that shiny is like really popping. And so we were like, well, we have to reevaluate these cards and see, you know, how do we adapt them to the new foil. So it was a real process of going through and taking a look at each card and saying, is this still how we want it, or do we want to make any changes now? So it was pretty involved.
It wasn't just slap a new number on the bottom corner and move on.
Yeah, I wish, but you know, it's also fun to go through and take a look at these things and blow blow the dust off the old file and go back in there and see what can we do.
So
Just
good.
wanted to keep this on the screen a little longer.
I
I
know.
was thinking trying to think of some questions.
I don't know if I really
Well,
noticed this on the other Enchanteds until this one, but like in the where the lore pips are, there's like a whole little like glowy like background there behind the lore pips. It seems like
Yep.
that's cool.
So you can read it. Otherwise, everything's too shiny and it
Too
disappears.
shiny.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, that's
so that is the end for this. I don't know if any of you had anything else you wanted to say or ask about this one. Nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope I get
I
one.
am gonna leave I am gonna leave it on the screen as we finish up just because it's so cool. Um, but yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Rebekah, where can people find you?
You can find me over on Instagram at Rebekah Quests. I'm also on other social media as well and YouTube, but I mostly hang out on Instagram.
And James?
I am on Twitch and YouTube as the Dan Regal and just Dan Regal pretty much everywhere else. Oh, and check out
Cool.
Overexerted, Disney Lorcana podcast. That's the podcast I'm currently on. Thanks.
Who I thought you might forget it. But
I've gotten a beating
I
from
was
my co-host if I forgot it.
I was gonna try to set you up if you didn't. But thanks everyone for joining. Fabled pre-release starts August 29th. Full release on September 5th. And we'll have another main stage next Wednesday with game dev. and see you there. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Yay.
everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Aubrey and
you.
Shane. Thanks, Richelle.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.